Well, we have some breaking news just into the 5 newsroom. One person has been killed in a vehicle accident on Route 7 near the Mon and Preston County line. That's what reports are indicating. We have made calls to officials in Mon and Goliad County for confirmation. Thanks for joining us tonight. Patients at the VA hospital in Clarksburg haven't been able to connect to the internet there since July, when the guest Wi-Fi was discontinued due to the lack of donated funds. New details unfolding tonight about the Upshur County murder that happened yesterday. Timothy McWilliams is charged with the murder of his 85-year-old father, Leo McWilliams, who family claims suffered from Alzheimer's and dementia. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday evening. Still no word from Clarksburg police on whether or not any suspects are in custody after an apparent armed robbery this afternoon. Much more happening in Charleston on the second to last day of the legislative session. Earlier tonight, Governor Justice signed a few more bills. On this week's edition of Our Youth, Our Future, we met a young woman whose passion for getting prisoners out of the cell and into the classroom earned her a spot as a finalist for the prestigious Truman Scholarship. Joined now with meteorologist Jay. I almost said Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan. You are not Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan. I'm not. No, you are meteorologist Jay Martin. Jay Martin with us now. Jay, a hot one, well, humid, but kind of what are we looking at? Any outdoor activity? Fishing, I know, might be on your agenda, certainly.
On some people's agenda.
Certainly not mine. An early morning pursuit of a suspect in Marion County took an unexpected turn this morning with the arrest of a man deputies didn't know they were looking for. Thanks for joining us this evening. One person is on their way to the hospital after an apparent fireworks accident near Wallace. Harrison County 911 dispatchers say the patient came in contact with the Wallace Fire Department, but the accident didn't actually happen there. Tomorrow is voting day in Lewis County for the fire levy vote that has been a hot topic ever since it failed to get a 60% approval when it was on the ballot during the presidential election. Our Corey Meredith finds out how residents plan to vote. Each week on Our Youth, Our Future, we profile the young men and women in your communities who are making a difference. This week, we met Michaela Dixon, a high school student who has made it her mission to help as many people as possible. Here's Allison Kaiser with the story. Rain it's gonna be a few days. What are you smiling about?
I just because we're gonna have good weather until that rain gets here.
All right, well, it's time for Health Alerts. Joining us tonight, Dr. Mark Povrosnik from UHC. How are you, sir?
It's a pleasure.
Staying warm?
I'm trying.
It's important. It's not that easy right now. Well, we're going to talk the flu today. So kind of tell us a little bit about what the flu forecast looks like as we start the new year.
Well, I always enjoy coming and educating the community, but tonight I'm going to turn it up just a little bit.
Hundreds are preparing to raise life-saving funds for the American Heart Association as we speak. Nicole Porter live at the North Central West Virginia and Harrison County Heart Walk. The Division of Highways broke ground on Corridor H this afternoon, just as the road bond special election is around the corner. Food safety experts with Consumer Reports are telling consumers not to eat romaine lettuce for now until health officials can find the cause of an E. coli outbreak in the U.S. and Canada. The state Senate president says the legislature has to deliver this year. That message coming today at the 2018 legislative preview lunch in Harrison County, just 5 days before the regular session begins. Wildfires in Santa Barbara County quickly spread over the weekend, devouring structures and forcing evacuations. But firefighters are getting some help today from slightly cooler temperatures and lower winds. Wendy Gillette has more from New York. And the White House hosted a series of listening sessions last month to talk to people about their thoughts on Obamacare. Macy Senge caught up with one of the participants of the session to learn more about his experience with the policy. Work continues in Charleston, where lawmakers are still focused on passing a budget. And without a budget, there is a possibility of a government shutdown. Time for a quick break once again, but let's preview what lies ahead here on 5 News at 11 Weekend Edition. Tonight in sports, Mon County Ballpark looked a little bit more like a pond tonight. Did the Black Bears and Muck Dogs get on the diamond? Ben Escherball will let you know, plus the latest from the Greenbrier. Thanks for joining us tonight. Economists say there are reasons to be hopeful when it comes to our state's economy. Now, the Mountain State Business Index shows the state on a path to recovery. Now, it's called the grandmother scam, and police say it's already milked several Bridgeport residents out of thousands of dollars. President Trump plans to push forward some new policies next week on job training and relations with Cuba, but he continues to face tough questions about his campaign's contacts with Russia and the firing of FBI Director James Comey. The Mountaineer Area Council Boy Scouts of America held their annual Distinguished Citizen Dinner tonight to honor the contributions of one WVU athletics coach. Connor Schlegel was there to hear the reasons behind this year's selection. Last night and into this morning, hundreds of you in Mon County were gathering for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Thank you for that, Ken.
We just
not that we're pointing fingers.
We're not.
No, we're not pointing fingers.
Okay.
But looks like it's going to be warming up a little bit. Maybe some outdoor sports. Not quite yet. Need a few more months.
We're a couple months away from that.
Yeah.
We'll just stick to the indoor stuff now as long as it's still on.
Right. The indoor sports ball, as
Yes.
Jay Martin would call it.
That's correct.
All right. What are we looking at?
He says that?
He says it all the time. I had coffee with him this morning before coming in, and multiple times he was talking about sports ball. So
Okay.
that's just what Jay does. Anything else we need to know weather-wise?
Look at this. Guy.
Guy.
Saturdays are for the boys.
Saturdays for the boys.
Guys' night out.
Yeah, and if you are going out, it's going to be a nice night.
All right, well, that's exactly what we want to hear. Glad the Black Bears got that game in. Jay, what about the weekend? Look, weather, we're looking great night to be outside, right? A lot of sports going on tomorrow, Joe?
Absolutely.
All right, great.
Yep.
Well, fishing, maybe for Jay. Fishing, not for me. Joe, you a fisher?
I don't believe I've ever fashed. We're
Fashed
going
fish?
past tense with fishing, no. So.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here on 5 News 11 Weekend Edition. We'll see you tomorrow night. Until then, have a good night.